Hi everyone, this is Courtney with Texas. Hi everyone, this is Courtney with Texas Teacher today with a free core subjects math question for you. So this one is a more of a situational question, and when you get these situational or scenario-based questions, you want to ask yourself three things in this order. Which answer choice is most on topic? That sounds obvious, but a lot of people pick the most student-centered one first, and that's not right, right? So it has to be on topic. Then it needs to be thorough, more thoroughly address the question than the other options. Then there's usually two left. Then you pick the most learner-centered one. So let's look at one. Number one, Miss Smith teaches third grade. Many of her students are struggling with learning decimals. What would be the best hands-on approach to help her students learn about decimals in a meaningful way? A, showing them a video and giving them a worksheet that explains decimals. That's on topic. B, breaking the class into small groups that each receives a board with 100 squares and 100 counters or manipulatives. She will show the class a few examples demonstrating that 3 counters on the board is the equivalent of 0.03, or 3 out of 100, 300ths. The students will come up with their own decimals using the board and manipulatives. Also on topic, teaching them a song about decimals and having guest speaker that talks about how she uses decimals and math in the workplace. Also on topic, using the smartboard to demonstrate what decimals are, what they're used for, and having advanced students do some sample problems on the board. The rest of the class will take notes from their desk, and later the class will take a quiz so she can evaluate their progress and determine if they have mastered the concept. Also on topic. Okay, now if we notice, B and D are more thorough, right? They have more things that the students are doing. So we can eliminate A and C. They're not that thorough. But now they're both on topic, they're both thorough. Which one is more student-centered? Well, the students are very actively engaged in B, where they're coming up with their own decimals and using the manipulatives, and it's got hands-on activities. So it's the most meaningful, student-centered, hands-on approach because it asks for hands-on in the question. So B is a little bit better than D, right? Where it's not as hands-on because the question asked us hands-on. If you need help passing the core subjects, please give me a call or send me a text at 361-846-0741. Thanks.